struggling to sleep because I had caffeine. Is it obvious? Hello, this is Emma, and I'm here to say I cannot sleep, so I have a story to tell today. So I'm going to put this on a Monday and turn it into a vlog, but I'm going to start by telling a story. Also, you're perfect. Perfect. So, ignore the fireworks. There are fireworks going on because it just so happens to be July, not by the time you see this, and in my neck of the woods, they do fireworks every night in July. So, yeah, ignore them. These ones sound distant, so you might not even hear them. But, yeah, I have a story. So I've been hospitalized for mental health reasons 16 times. It's not like I'm counting. Well, every time you go to one, they're like, so how many times have you been hospitalized? So then you just gotta recount in your head how many. So 16. And this is a story about the time I was hospitalized in New Mexico. In case you didn't know, I live in New York. I will not specify where in New York, but I live in New York. And this was when I was supposed to be going to a treatment center in New Mexico, but then I was caught cutting, and they sent me to a mental hospital, and then didn't end up allowing me into the treatment center afterwards. But that's not the point. So, I'm a trans man. I have had top surgery, and I've been on testosterone since 2019. Yeah, 2019. And the top surgery was just last September from 2024. But I was telling people that I was a trans, non-binary person at this mental hospital. And there was one other trans person there who was a trans woman. And her pronouns are she, her. And I'm just going to name her Emily because it's a pretty name. Even though I know many Emilys that I do not like, I'm just going to name her Emily and be all like, it's a pretty name. So, just went to adjust my glasses that I'm not wearing. So, my nickname there was New York because I was the only one there that was not from New Mexico. And she comes up to me and she's like, hey, can I ask you a few questions because you're trans? And I'm like, sure. And, if you don't know, most places, well, I won't say most places, but most places I've been to, if you are trans, you get a bedroom to yourself. Some places I've been to where you get a bedroom, with another trans person, if there's more than one trans person there. But for the most part, it's a room to yourself. And she had a room to herself, I had a room to myself. She was like, can I ask you about periods? And I'm thinking, why? But of course I just say yes, even though periods do trigger me, because they are hell on earth and I wouldn't wish them upon my enemy. Unless my enemy is female, then sorry, you're stuck with it. But, I was like, sure, but why do you want to know? She's like, well, I had an experimental surgery, where I was given ovaries, eggs, and a vagina. And I was like, oh. And, she said, I think I'm having my first period. And I said, well, let's just get you some pads and tampons, and, we'll be able to tough this out together. And at that time, I was on testosterone, but I was still getting a period because it was very low. And, I didn't have my period that day, but I went up to the nurses and I was like, well, Emily told me, she's like, well, asked me, she was like, can you ask for the pads and tampons? I don't want to ask. And I was like, sure. So I went up to a worker and I was like, hey, can I get a couple pads and a tampon? She was like, sure. Did you get your period? And I was like, no, they're for Emily. And so she snickers a little bit and she whispers something to her coworker and then comes up to me, hands me pads and tampon, and she's like, why does she need them? And I'm like, she got her first period. She's like, okay. So at this point, maybe it's because I'm gullible. Maybe it's because I have hopes that one day we can have trans women who can give birth. But I don't want to be ignorant. So I just give her the pads and the tampon, and I told her how to use it. And she goes to the bathroom, and she comes back a few minutes later, and she has a little red stain on the back of her jean shorts. And I tell her, I'm like, hey, I think you bled through your shorts. And she's like, oh no, what do I do? And I was like, well, cold water and lemon works, but also hydrogen peroxide works, and the nurse will definitely have that. And she's like, okay, do you mind giving these to the nurse? I'm like, no, not at all. So she goes to her room, gets changed, gives me her shorts, and I bring them to the nurse. And she's like, oh, you were on your period? I'm like, no. And I also hate when people ask that. So being asked that twice in one day was like, oh, I hated it. And I was like, no, I'm not on my period. And she's like, okay. And she goes to clean it. And then a few days later, my discharge comes. So I'm going to leave in like maybe a couple hours from that point. And she comes up to me, Emily, and she's like, why were you so nice to me and so accepting of everything about me? And I'm like, we don't know where anybody's from. We don't know everybody's life story. We don't know how much like hatred has been spewed onto a person. We don't know all of that stuff about people. And I'm like, you don't have to understand people, you just have to accept them. So I was telling her pretty much that. And I was like, you are here for a reason. And if you're struggling, I want to be able to help in whatever way I can. And she gives me a hug and says thank you. And like, I never mentioned that I was nice to her because I was trans, even though everybody there knows I was trans. I wasn't just being nice to her because I'm trans. I was being nice because that's the right thing to do. But now, here I am at 11:48 at night, struggling to sleep because I had caffeine. Is it obvious? And, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, is there actually an experimental surgery where a woman, a trans woman, can have periods? And I don't know the answer to that. And instead of looking it up like any normal person, I'm asking you guys, is there actually a surgery where a trans woman can give birth? Because I'm curious. I have a trans girlfriend right now, and she's talked about how she wishes she could give birth, even though she does not want kids. She just wants to experience that feeling. Oh god, I hope she's not watching this. But, I am curious, was I really just being gullible? And maybe, for lack of a better word, was she crazy? And thinking that she had a period? Did she marker her pants? There's many different things that could happen. Worse yet, she could have cut herself down there. There's just many different things that are on my mind, and I hope that there'll be a day, it could be now, but I hope that there is a way that trans women can get pregnant. Because I know there's plenty of people out there who want to have children and can't. But I also am a firm believer that there should be more adoptions than there are biological births. Which I know, like, after a while, the timing won't add up because you can't have more adoptions than there are kids. But there are just so many kids that need homes that I wish more people took the route of adoption versus having a biological child. That's just my opinion. I never, ever, 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 ever want to have kids like that. I want to adopt. But I'm also not even sure if I do want to adopt. Like, do I even want kids? But, Emily, if you're out there, I know that's not your real name. I really hope you're doing all right. And the worst comments I ever see on anything of mine, which is why my therapist told me to stop reading the comments. So if you comment something nice, sorry, I probably didn't see it. Is people saying to end myself. And it sucks so much to hear that. Because then I know that there's someone out there who thinks their life would be better if I wasn't in it. And that hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. So I guess that'll be the hate of the week, is people telling me to end myself. Myself? I'm pretty sure there's just one of me. But yeah. Let's do a question people have asked me. I work at a pet store. So this guy came up to me today and was like, I went to the Humane Society and I was going to drop off these kittens and they said that I needed an appointment, so I just left them there, and they said, you can't just leave them there. We can call the cops on you because it's abandonment. He's like, he's like, I know I'm not stupid and I know you're not stupid talking to me. He's like, I know we're not stupid. That's not abandonment. I would know what abandonment is. So I was like, okay. And the question was, you don't think that's abandonment, do you? And I was like, I don't know. I know legally it is abandonment, but I just went, I don't know. So my answer, the actual answer to that question is yes. They cannot, they don't have space to just take every animal that comes off the street. I wish it was possible that they could have space. That'd be great because there'd be less homeless animals. But that's abandonment. It was so crazy. He was like so certain it wasn't. And he also only bought 3 cans of cat food when he said he has 3 cats at home. He said this was good for the week. 3 cans, 3 cats, 1 week? That doesn't sound right. They're like this big, cat cans. So, would you survive with just 3 cans for 1 week? You maybe. It's just 1 cat. But if it was 3 real cats, I don't think they'd survive with just 3 cans of food for 1 week. But, yeah, that's the question people have asked me. Let's do the TikTok of the week.
There are 2 wolves inside me. One of them is autism, and the other one is faggotry.
And here is the meme of the week. Is it trans-related? It's probably trans-related. I really should get to bed. I have stuff to do tomorrow. Also, I've had comments, another reason why I don't read the comments anymore, that are like, you should get a job. I do have a job. I work at a pet store. This is just part of my life. This is not my whole life. In my heart it is, though. YouTube is my whole heart. Anyway, I really gotta take off the caffeine. I can't do this. But if you have ever been in a mental hospital, or if you think you might need to go, follow your gut, by the way. So if you think you might need to go, you probably do need to go. But if you've ever been there, I really, 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 really hope you will. And I hope you heal from the things you do not talk about. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of my life in whatever way that means. You're awesome. This is Minnie Mo, signing off. Bye.